Jimmy, kind of looks like maybe the game of your life out there today. I guess, would you describe it that way? And is this sort of why you stayed in Ann Arbor, buried on the depth chart a little bit for all these years?
I mean, I stayed just because I love Michigan, and I always believed in myself, knew I was going to be able to play here. And it's a blessing to be out there, starting with my guys out there. And, just playing today is just playing hard. It was any other game for me. And, just a little extra focus during the week, practicing hard, make the game easier. And, just guys played great. And it was just awesome to see, awesome to be a part of, a lot of fun.
Fumble recovery, sack, or the PBU, I guess, which was your favorite play to walk through?
I will say, honestly, the fourth down PBU.
All right, we'll go to the middle there, second row, Ryan.
Jimmy, how did post being seen inside the locker room maybe compared to your other wins, your other guys' wins this season?
It's always huge, this state rivalry, and it's just everyone was so excited, and you could just feel the energy the whole game, and in the locker room was just, everyone's just happy for each other, especially for Coach Moore. Awesome win.
Why specifically for Coach Moore?
Head coach, awesome. Always want to play for him, always want to play hard for him, and went out there, and I'm really glad that we were able to do that.
Second row, right, Brandon.
Michigan State was kind of building a little bit of momentum, and you had the key fourth down stop. What did you see on the play that helped you seek an advantage on?
Just great communication from my teammates, especially Ernest Hausman, letting me know he's coming back out, and I'm not going to take credit for that play. That was all him.
Front row, all the way to the right, Angelique.
Jimmy, did you have maybe extra motivation once you saw Cole exit the game with an injury?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know he was hurt, but once I did, I was like, we got to step up, play more than usual, and we were all okay with that. Obviously, it's never good when your teammates, when your brothers go down. So we played a little extra harder for him, knowing that it's just gonna be us out there. So.
Additional questions for Jimmy? We'll go to the middle in the front here, Clayton.
Last 3-4 games for you personally, is this your best football that you've been playing in college?
In college, yeah, definitely. Just more opportunity, more play. It's just more confidence as I play. So, for sure.
All right, we'll go second row, all the way to the left there.
Jimmy, so there was 5 NFL teams with reps at the game today. Has knowing you're a senior and what comes next provided any extra motivation for your play this year, or is that out of mind?
Out of mind, just living in the moment, playing in the moment, and just pretty much.
All right, all the way to the back there on the right, Bob.
Jimmy, how important was it to maintain your composure and discipline, and how hard is that to do in a game like this?
Not hard. When you're Michigan, you're trained to keep your composure in any circumstances. Especially during this game, it gets chippy out there, and just having each other's back when you see a guy maybe getting into a little bit, pulling him off, talking him down, and everyone just playing for each other. And no one wanted to make those silly mistakes. We want to let them make those mistakes, play our football, play our brand, and yeah.
Front row right here, Brad.
You worked and you were such a part of special teams the last few years, and you saw guys ahead of you on the depth chart have their moments. As you reflect tonight on this moment for you and a game full of them, how will you reflect on this experience?
Just grateful for the opportunity, grateful to play in a game like this, and just grateful to be able to keep playing in games like this.
Additional questions for either of these gentlemen? Go back to the second row on the right here, Brandon.
Justice, you've been, first off, welcome back. You've been out for a few weeks. What does it say about the confidence that the coaching staff have in you to give you 26 carries when you first came back?
I think it speaks volumes for that. I love this coaching staff. And the trust that the belief that they have in me is special, and I take a lot of pride in that. So just thankful to be here and to be in such a great situation, and just really all glory to God to be out there back on the field. Just happy to be back out there.
Second row left, Zach.
That first drive of the third quarter, it seemed like it set the tone for the second half for you guys. What was going through your mind heading into that drive, and then I guess just what did it mean to be able to establish and get 64 rushing yards in that drive on your own?
Going into that drive, it was just kind of coming out of halftime. Just we got to get going. We got to get going. Got to put up points. Got to set the tone. In my mind personally, I was just thinking got to take this thing game over. The O-line, they block great. The receivers downfield block great. Tight end block great. Coach Lindsay called great calls.
in the queue. We'll start in the middle with Ryan.
Justice, at what point during the week were you confident that you would be able to play this week, and what kind of hurdles did you have to clear to be cleared to play?
I feel like I was confident to play at the start of the week. You know, coming in, I was a game time decision last week. You know, it was a toss up, but I feel like I'm very blessed. I would say to be out there playing. You know, God works miracles. He works in mysterious ways, and to be out there is just a true blessing.
Okay, I've got 3 in the queue. Are any of those for Jimmy? We okay letting Jimmy go? Tony, if you'd like to ask yours.
Yeah, I guess it's for all 3 of you. 86 passing yards as a team, but still you led by like 2 scores the whole way. I guess, how much do you like that old school, running for 250, winning it on defense? Do you guys like that type of bully ball?
I mean, yeah, any game where on defense we're willing to do that. Just classic Michigan football, and always feels good to go out there and dominate in defense, and that's what it felt like all day for us. Besides a few plays here and there, but it just felt like we were in control the whole game.
To me, I feel like that's just the Michigan standard. Offense, just pounding the ball on them until they quit, and defense just executing and get off the field so the offense get back on the field.
Jimmy, if you'd like to run down. Second row on the right here, Austin.
Justice, you got off to such a good start this year. How hard was it to have that interrupted by the injury, and just how eager were you to get back out there?
I was very eager to get out there. You know, it always sucks being hurt, but I can only control the controllables. You know, it was unfortunate. It happened. But I can control what I can control. And just put the rest in God's hands. You're gonna go through challenges. You're gonna go through trials in life. And just gotta get back. It's not how many punches you throw. It's how many punches you take. It's how many punches you throw back. So.
It looked like you got a couple runs where you're able to bounce to get outside and have a lot of room. Is that something you knew would be there from film, or just sort of in the moment seeing that was there?
It's kind of a feel thing, but watching it on film, coming out the first half, they were crowding the box. They had a lot in the box. I know eventually we were going to be able to get on the edge, and that was just something that just kind of feeling it, kind of looking at it on film. The corner kept sinking in. I get to the edge, lower him in, put him on the block, and then go out.
Front left there, Alejandro.
Derrick, wonder if there's anything you can identify about the defense's performance the last couple of weeks that maybe wasn't there against USC a couple weeks before?
Really just us just executing and just tackling. I also want to give a shout out to Coach Wayne. He received a lot of backlash the last couple of weeks for his play calling, but I feel like it always come down to us. Like we just gotta go out there and execute as a defense, and I feel like we had to. With me being a leader and other guys on the defense being leaders, we just got together and we talked it out and we figured out the issue, and now we playing back to Michigan football, Michigan defense football.
Time for just a couple more. We'll go to the second row middle, Zach.
Derrick, TJ mentioned just a few minutes ago, you guys don't love hearing about these mobile quarterbacks and the threat that they pose. I guess how much was that? How much were you motivated by maybe what you heard about Damon Williams and Aiden Childs, and where is this defensive front grown and being able to contain those guys?
I mean, with the last 2 weeks, going against a mobile quarterback, we emphasized a lot about keeping them in the pocket and just rushing together and rushing smart together. And I feel like the past 2 weeks we did that. We just rushed smart. We just rushed together as one. Nobody wasn't on their own or doing their own. We just all was trying to keep the quarterback in the pocket, and I feel like we did that today and last night.
Second row right, Austin.
Derrick, you just talked about getting together as a defense, as leaders and figuring things out. What did you guys figure out when you got together?
Really, just like I said, like execute. We gotta like the previous. We're really going back to the USC game after that loss. Looking at it, we just wasn't communicating. We wasn't tackling, and we just wasn't getting to the ball. After that, I feel like practicing, just been like real physical. Coach Wick been hard on us. Us doing different drills to just help us, hurry up, get lined up, get set, get ready, and just fly to the ball. So we've been doing that for the past 2 weeks.
Anything final for these guys? Are we all set? Okay, thank you. Appreciate your time.